So set up the project as usual, as always. And TD week 3, and then we're gonna edit on the last animation. Here we go. So on the last animation, I think actually it's good. So I can show you like how to go back and forth and edit some of the motion if you already have the animation. So right now we're gonna fix the rig first so that we can do turning, right? And right there. So if you select the, let me select the controller so that we can see the key here, okay? And at this moment, if I turn, it looked like this. So it just, we need a little extra hierarchy. So the trick is this. You need to turn off a auto key first, just so that you don't edit your keyframe by like when you go around. Now, I want you to shrink this side really small and then type 0 on frame 0. And then we're gonna just go to frame 0 because before key has been set. So this video is how to fix the hierarchy. Now, luckily, we did not animate the, let's bring up the joints. We did not animate joint directly. We animate the controller. So it means it will be really easy and smooth to fix any hierarchy because they are separate sub-hierarchy. That's why we keep doing that. Try to add more container so that you can really modify whatever is inside that container and doesn't affect the main container and something like that. So what happened on here is this. Let's select the, let's expand this. And if I select this joint group and look at on channel box, okay, we limit rotate X and Y so that we are able to rotate this thing without moving rotate, because these joints are driving that joint. Now, we're telling that this joint will drive only rotation Z axis, no X and Y. So now, when we rotate the main body, the problem with this is there's nothing control the rotation on Y and X of these joints. That's it. So to fix that, super easy. Go back. You just have to select these two joints that has a lower hierarchy of the entire tire, and then we're gonna put it under main body because we want the main body to control that rotation and this rotation. So that's all you need. Select this, middle mouse drag and drop it below, over the main control. So now this is the hierarchy. So now you can rotate 360 degrees. And at this moment it's swap, which it actually is exactly like the real life. If it's gonna make a turn like that, it has to reverse, like reverse this side so that these are going forward. So now, what happened here is when we animate, if you're gonna animate, is like not reverse, you set the key on this and turn off. Oh, sorry, on here. Auto, turn off auto, and then so that you can animate manually on this tire rotation. So does it make sense? So now that's it. That's all you need to do. So here we go. Can you see when we don't turn on the auto key? If we are not on the key, when we kind of swap, everything snap back to whatever the key is because key is a fixed position. So now we're done. So I'm gonna save this scene as, and I'm gonna call fix. Okay. And then I should save as number 3, animation 3, just in case something happen again. So at this moment, you bring this back to 0 or to 1, change that starting frame. Now, in the past, there's a lot of animator, including me too. I have a keyframe set on frame 0, and then I hide it. When we do the biped or collector, I think it's a really good way to make sure it forced to move to the initial position. However, we don't do any complex animation here, so this is good. So now, how can we, oh gosh, my file has been deleted, so I'm not going to bring that up. So we need to select those controller and assign the key again. If you are at home, probably it's still there. Mine is just there. Now, last time though, I forgot one thing. I forgot to set this because we're gonna animate manually at one point. So I have to including this guy, these two. So instead of 5, it will be 7 controller that I need to select. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then selection and quick create, quick select set, quick select set, and then name I'm gonna call 7CTL. There we go. So that I know, and I'm gonna put it in right here, add to shelf, so that we can reselect. Okay, it doesn't do that. It did that sometime. Delete. Do again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. Create set, quick selection set. I think I might have to 7CTL. Oops, shoot. I forgot to. That's so weird. It's right there. So I'm gonna have to go to select and quick select set. I don't know why it doesn't name for me. I'm gonna have to hold Control Shift and put it right there. Here we go. If that doesn't work, under create set, quick selection set, if it doesn't let you add, I think it could be that I put number 7 in front of it. It doesn't like it. What about CTL 7? See if it like it. Oh, okay, hold on. Yes, so I'm gonna delete that. And hey guys, you can delete the quick selection set if you don't use it, like that one. It doesn't delete your geometry. It just delete the quick selection set. I had another one in there from last section. Here we go. So now this is the one I want to use. Okay, so now if I select this, oh, I gotta bring this back to 600. I'm gonna delete some of the animation. I think it's from here, and then I want that to make a turn instead of stop, rotate. Now I'm gonna delete this section because it's gonna be backward. Right now it's backward. So to delete might be a good idea to use a dope sheet to delete the set because we have 7 of them. Actually, I have only 5 because these 2 I just add. These 2 doesn't have a keyframe. See, no keyframe. I have to synchronize the keyframe, and I'll show you how to sync it. So now, what I need is under Window menu. Okay, I recorded. Animation editor, dope sheet, and on dope sheet under view, you turn on scene submarine. You will see the key. So expand it. You can select like that. And what frame is it? We got to look at, hold on, let me reselect. So we want to delete frame 460, and so on. So right there, 460. So right there. So this is the set. So you just reach and drag, right click, edit, delete those. Hold on, let me make it smaller so that you can see what is going on. So right click, edit, delete. So now can you see those gone? So those keyframe is gone. So it just you can also do like this if you select hold shift drag, but sometimes you may not be able to select all of them, right? All the keyframe, I mean all the controller. So if you have only one or two, might be just faster, right click and just delete right here. So okay, so now it's stop, and let me sync the keyframe. So when I click right here, I can press S. However, we have to make sure that we limit information on the controller. And these two I just add, and I did not limit. So I should select both, highlight it, and leave it only auto, right click, lock and hide selected. Let me make sure if they're all gone. Here we go. And check this one. Here we go. So good. So I'm gonna select and I'm gonna just press S. It will set the keyframe on every single one of them. So I'm gonna have to go back here, press S again, because from here to there gonna be rotate. And you can start it to rotate, go to frame 400, use shortcut to jump from forward, to jump to key. Forward jumping to key, you period. And comma is back, go back. See, like that. Here we go. So on here, I'm gonna select only that controller, only the main controller, and rotate 180 degree. Here we go. So now, if you feel like you're a little confused about this rotate, you can, if you right click, choose controller, you can modify the shape on the curve. It doesn't do anything or affect any animation. So now I can see this is a font. Here we go. So now it's turn. Oh, I did not turn on auto key. So when I type it in, I did not press enter. Oh, even press enter, it doesn't, hold on. Yeah, you have to right click and set the key, but we can turn on auto key from now. So it will be auto. So now, look like this. So on here though, we can do manual rotate. So for example, make sure you set this key on the move control. So I want to be safe. I'm gonna go backward one more and press S to set the key on here. This guy, I want that guy to have a key at least. Now, if you don't plan to do more manual rotate, if you plan to, you have to keep synchronize the key, all of this. So just like step backward, press S, backward, press S. So, but for today, just to save time, because that's all we need. We need to turn off from here and then turn back on from there. Okay, so now, when it's right here, okay, we can set the key from there to be 0, right here. Let's switch the animation so that we have our graph editor. So right here, I'm gonna put 0. And then it will turn back on again from to there. And because auto keyframe is on, Maya somehow know if it on and off will be switched. So it put the step tangent step curve for us. What it does is it's maintain one right here on until it pops to this. We'll switch to off, and then we'll stay off, and then pops again to frame 400. Now, if it's linear or curved, it will gradually turn off and then gradually turn on, which may cause the problem. So, because it's going to be gradually force you to have auto rotate and manual, like 50%, 25%, and then 0. But this way will be 1, keep 1, and hit 0, and then keep 0 and hit 1. So now we can go back. When it's turned, you can shrink this to, let's start from, how about just only 355, just a little bit before that key hit, and then stop at 410, just 10 more keyframes, so that we can, and then click this button. It's frame only time range. Here we go. So we just want to work on here. Oh. And I'm gonna hide the platform temporarily. Here we go, so that I can see on shade. So at this moment, stop and then turn. See? Hold on. Why it's still doing that? It's from here, right? 0. Oh, my eyes are so bad. I feel like it was rotated. It does rotate right here. Off. Off. Let's try to force the key, see if it's going to work. So select this guy. Okay. Oh, I know what happened. Okay. There's a keyframe already. That's okay. So now let's try this. So we're going to, this is a 0 rotation. So make a turn. Let's try just 360 degrees, see if it looks all right. Because we didn't, I mean, if you want it to be precise, you're going to have to manual under, you have to create a circle so that you can measurement the length from here to there, 360 degree. And in this case, we're going to just try, how about 360 degree, press 0. Oh, it might have to be minus. Let's see. Nope, not okay. So let's see if it's going to the right direction. I'm gonna press K on my keyboard. It slowly moves. I think it's good. 360. Let me try again. Okay, let me do on real time. Look at on these color. I don't know if you can see. How about? No. Okay. Oh, too fast. Yep. How about probably only a quarter, right? So if it's a quarter, let's divide it by 4 instead. Here we go. So quarter. I am such a bad at math. 360 divided by 4. So 90 degree, maybe. I think we're gonna have to keep experiment on this section. Yeah. See, it's rotate a little bit. I think it's rotate the right direction. So this guy need to rotate negative. So I just did only 90 degree. So this guy, let's frame that on this key will be minus 90 because reversal. Yeah, oops, why it keep doing that? Here we go. And I think this is okay. Let's see if it looks okay. Come on. It's really hard to see is rotate or not, right? Here we go. R. Just look at on the alphabet R. I think it's okay. Let's play, see if it. Oh no, it's super fast. So it has to be even lower than that. But just only, let's do, how about just minus 10 degree? And 10, here we go. And see if it looks slow enough. We just try to show off that it's work. Okay. So Alt V. Wow, still fast. Wait, I am on real time? Yes. Okay. So how about even 10? How about 5? Step keyframe, minus 5. Maybe it's such a really, what do you call, like a short distance to turn. There we go. I feel like the auto rotate still do something with it, like multiply it, which okay, I'm gonna let go for this time, and I think I might. You can when you do on your own, try maybe do just really low. I think because let me go back to there. It might have to be like just let's see if this is 5 already. So 0. No, I think what happened is the auto rotate still doing that, like multiply the manual. So, well, we can let go for now, and if I get a better solution, it probably just Maya bug or on the script itself. I'm not sure what that caused. So now let me bring this back. Let's see. If I turn it off, if I set the key one more time, let's turn it on again. Let it all 0. So I can select, you can select this key and then just put, go back to there. Let's put, I'm gonna leave it right there for now. Okay, and let's make it move up. So go to F, 1 on keyboard, here, period. So let's move this. There we go. So now, when you do animation, don't forget you need to change the axis on rotation, move, or scale to object space so that it use the object axis, not the world. Because right now it's moving back on the back, moving to the back side of the world space, but the front size of the object. So now let me shrink this time range. So let's do, how about just take a little time, 90 frame maybe, that's 6, 3. So just 60, 460. Press S to set all the keyframe. Here we go. And then now the rotation has that, it won't do anything on here. So you can turn off 0 on that rotation on here. Put it back to 0. And actually, we want it to turn off, right? From here to there. So you can select that key and then click select this key, just only that key, and click step so that it turn on. This one I put 0. Oh, not that key. I think has to be right here and then go back to 1 right away. So I think I have to do this. On that, one more keyframe there, and then put this to 0 on that key and execute. Okay. Oh, I was on the wrong key. Here we go. So one more keyframe right here. 401, and then we force it to off. Here we go. And then you don't need that key. Here we go. Same thing. We force that to off on frame 401. Off. And then this key, you can delete it. So now we should be fine now. And I'm gonna step forward keyframe. So from here, I'm gonna select, move, and then move it. Gonna switch that to right view, right about here, before it's penetrated. And I'm gonna make this move up only 2 seconds. So 48, let's do 50, so it will be 510. Just only a few seconds. Select all, press S to set the keyframe again. And then now we can move this up. Here we go. Okay, and I gotta move it right there. Okay, so now let's bring the motion tail so that we can fix, so that we can get the flow that follow the RAM. And let me go back. How about 50 more frame? Oh, just 106. 600 is fine. Select, press S. Let's move this a little bit right there. Okay. So, and we can turn it too if we want. Let's do that turn too. And this time, let's ignore the auto rotate. So let me move it back a little bit right there. Oh, maybe that's good. Here we go. I think that might be too far. Hold on. Let's select all. Let's shift this keyframe, shift select, and move it just only, how about just only 40 more frame? Here we go. And then from here to there, we can go 60. 60 might be too slow because we kind of gonna try to hide that problem if we get that problem again. So let's try 60 first. Set the key, and we can move the key later. And then I'm gonna rotate back 180 degree on, I didn't set the key. Press S, and select this, and then we're going to rotate it back 0. Here we go. So now if we look at on, oops, we look at on perspective view so that we can see. So it should look, I use K on my keyboard. Here we go, come here, and then turn, here we go. So if I do play, it's not too bad. Okay, so now that's it. So now you select the main control, and I think we just want to see from here to there, right? So let's see what keyframe from, so within right here. So we're gonna shrink that right there. Here we go. So now let me Alt V to see. That's it. That's what we want to see, just only from there to here. Okay, stop that. Change to side view, right view. Here we go. Select the main control, and I'm gonna click frame only the time range. Under visualization, visualize, create motion tail, open up option. We want a time slider just from here to there. So that is less calculation, and click create. Now you see. So from here, you're gonna have like what we did when it's coming down. We're gonna break down like it's about midway first. I mean, this is just how I like to do. I started midway when I break down, always in between. And in the future, you can kind of be a little more creative. Do a little offset right away is fine too. So now make sure you turn on auto keyframe. Now select all controller and synchronize it. Press S. Make sure you sync it. And then now you can grab that main control, move it up. Here we go. And then I'm gonna rearrange my graph editor a little bit. Now I'm gonna break down. So move it between midway again. This is a new breakdown between these two keyframes. Select, press S. Here we go. I mean, before you even edit it, you know that you're gonna break down. You could just go in and break down right away. Like I can go to here and I can press S, because while we still select the controller, might be easier, might be quicker. So now I'm gonna come back here, make a little adjustment. I think it seems like these sections are good, and use semicolon and full stop on your keyboard. Here we go. And then move it. Okay. I think, okay. So now let's grab the timeline again. I'm gonna hold K on my keyboard with left mouse button. So I really need to fix that. So I move until, and I look at on my keyframe, it's about midway. Select all again, press S. Here we go. And then select only that and move. Why is look like that? And then let's go for, oh, because this one is dip also. So make it adjustment. Here we go. Okay. It seems like they are parallel to the shape of the RAM. So I probably don't need to edit anything more. Even right here, I probably don't need to break down anymore, because it seemed, oh, well, this one I have to, it's flawed right here. So select, it's about midway, press S, and then we select only main controller and then put it down. Here we go. And let's hold K on my keyboard. It's a little, okay, that one doesn't touch that key. Here we go. Okay. Okay. I think this is good. Right here is good. It doesn't dip. A little float right here. So move it down. Okay. And that's it. So we're done for the animation. And now I can select that curve, delete, because I don't need it anymore. I just use that for as a referencing. And 60. Here we go. Okay. So I think that's it. And if we wanted to film just only on the side, you kind of want to have a little depth, like perspective. So what I could do something like this. I'm gonna create a new camera. Create new camera, and this camera I'm gonna call side shot. Here we go. Side shot cam. I think I should put the word camera, just cam, so that I know it's a camera. And you can access this under perspective, side shot. And I'm gonna turn on under view camera setting, turn on resolution gauge. You need to see the resolution gauge right here. And I can, because of it's too wide, it's cut off the top. So I can go back and fit vertical so that I can see. And it said only 560. This is a 540p, HD 540p. So if you go to render setup, you can use Mental Ray or you can use Maya to render these if you want. And also I'm gonna show you how to use Viewport 2.0. So that is a little quicker to render. It doesn't take so much time at all. Right here. The final demo, you need to do HD 1080. So make sure you choose HD 1080. It's standard. So now can you see? 1920 by 1080. My pixels are really weird on that top part. So now, when you work with this camera, I'm gonna switch to standard. Here we go. So you would have a perspective view to animate it or switch to side. This is when you're ready to render. Now, to modify the camera, I don't want you to tumble the scene like this, because when you undo the camera, you have to use, you cannot use Control Z. You have to use undo view chains. It's Alt Z. Here we go. Now, what I want you to do is find your camera by selecting the camera and look at on perspective view. It's somewhere there. So I can scale the shape. This is just a preview shape, display shape, so that I can see this is my camera. I wanted to look at sideways. You use actual standard tool to manipulate the camera. So I want 90. Now, what we are trying to do is, now you try to operate a 3D camera like a handheld camera, because that will give you more control in terms of cinematography. So I'm gonna dolly out. Here we go. I want it to frame within those platform. Here we go. Now, if I go to Attribute Editor, I can see right now the focal length is only 35, which is wide screen, which is a wide angle. So we can narrow that angle to be like a little higher number. If I do like 85 is kind of like standard video camera that we use. or 55, I think. 55 is most like frame use, like the basic, the standard one. So now, if you want it to be zoomed in, oops, sorry, I put it wrong number right here. Has to be on the focal length. Here we go. These are standard film and standard like handheld camera 85. So now it depends on your artistic. If you feel like 85, it has depth enough, doesn't get much distortion. If it lower number, you get more distortion, that's all. So this is like totally your preference. So I move it up. If I want to rotate, I rotate manually, and then I move up. Here we go. So now I want to be able to see right here. So I'm gonna move down, rotate, and I rotate one axis at a time. In this way, I can organize my view much easier and faster. Here we go. So this is 85. If I change to 55, it's kind of make it wider. So you have to move it closer. There we go. And don't get confused, like the number is if it 55 is kind of wide like this. If it's narrower, will be higher number, and then the camera, the camera angle will come like this. So if it really close like this, it's probably 100 or 300 something. So, okay. And that's one thing that you can set up the camera. Now, talk about, let's see if I have, let me show it to you. You could think of how to frame the animation in the way that telling the story. So when I'm talking about that, it's mean like this. For example, I want to show it's coming down, slash, the point of view of under, turn, and then go up. Here we go. Does it make sense? So it's like, for example, now when you look at it, my direction of the robot are going from the right to left, and also keep right to left after the camera cut. The reason is so that audience will not get confused about the direction. So, and this time it can be left to right because it's exactly come back from the left, go back to the same spot. And then you can kind of experiment about where the camera should be. Like here, I just want to focus is turn. And this time I did not do auto, I did not disable auto at all. So I just let it go because it can't really tell much when it's play. And then turn, and then come back up front. Now the reason that I use this camera, I want to show off that the RAM is kind of high. The robot is coming from the bottom and go up high. And then I cut. So I think I'm missing one camera. Actually, I have a camera that these guys are coming, stop, and turn again. So I'm missing two camera. I thought I did render. Yep. Okay, so does it make sense? And let's see if I have the camera setting. So now, when you do animation, I don't need you to do fancy animation for the demo. Just to show that it can turn, go up and down, that's it. So you might, I would encourage you to modify the RAM so that they look slightly different, okay? Are you guys okay, people who are online?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Okay, so now the other thing is this, to use viewport 2.0, so when you create camera, one more thing, you could lock them, highlight all of this on the channel box and lock, so that you don't accidentally like tumble your camera, like you're seeing a move by accident. Because you can do alt, left mouse, alt, middle mouse, alt, right mouse. The camera, 3D camera, the new camera that I create will do the same as perspective view. So now we lock it. So let's take a look at on the perspective. Here we go. And if I turn off wireframe on shade temporary, and now right under render, you have viewport 2.0, and you can set up more setting on here. Let's leave it there so that we can see how we set it up. So first, you need a light. When you turn on lights, can you see it's dark because no lights in there? Okay, so let me hide curve temporarily. Let's hide all, and then turn only polygon because we have only polygon. So now, if I switch, turn this off again, it's bright. We just want to see the lighting. So now, first, you can use basic light, sunlight, which is directional light, under create, lights, directional light, and I'm gonna scale the shape a little bit because, I turned off the light, sorry. Here we go. There we go. And now when you turn the lights on, it will look like this. And sunlight, directional light is mean infinite. So it doesn't matter the location is, as long as the direction into the direction you want it. That's it. So right now, how about I change a little angle? Here we go. And it doesn't matter the location is, the matter is the orientation. So now, I already turned that on. On the sunlight, we're gonna leave this window temporarily. Let's close that. Go to Attribute Editor. Under Shadow, you don't want to use ray trace because the reason that it's ray trace is because of this. Ano has been selected. I mean, you can just turn it off and then turn on Shadow Map. So now, let's, to be safe, switch the Ano render to Maya Hardware 2.0. And now, this setting is right here. Same setting. So now I turn it on, and the resolution might be too low. So before that, let's turn on Cast Shadow. Here we go. And then Cast Ambient Occlusion. And this is anti-aliasing. So make the shape look smoother. Can you see? Now, the resolution of the lights, the OpenGL lighting is basically a fake map. It used the ray to check where the surface is, and anything that behind, anything in front of the lights, it will lit. Anything behind will create a bitmap and masking it. Does it make sense? We don't have to do it. The OpenGL does it for you. So now these are 2D map that baking into it in real time and keep changing based on the here we go. Based on the location of the geometry. So now, right here, we want, because we're going to render 1080. So it has to be 1024, which is 1K map. So now, can you see more pixel there? If it's not enough, don't change things here yet. Filter, put it full. See, it's softer. Now it's a little pixelated. Let's take a look at the option itself of the viewport 2.0. And right here, we have anti-aliasing, screen, space, ambient. Right now it's 16, sample 16. Let's try to look at on anti-aliasing. Let's bring it to 16 to match. Bake solution, type, motion. Okay, so now lights, we will not get more than 8 lights. This is good enough. So I think at this moment, you don't need to turn on transparency because we don't have a transparency material. If you have transparency material, this will try to act like faking ray that casts through the light, through the glass, and then has a thin color of the glass on the floor. We don't have that. So we don't need that. I think this is, at this moment, I think is good. 16, 16, a little, I mean, we can try to, 32 will create a little more smoother, like on the cavity, like cavity. So now, I'm gonna close that, and I'm probably gonna have to bring this up. Let's do 8. 16, no. It could be that I think might be, let me bring that down. Let's bring down to 8, but then reduce this side. Let's try 512. Well, in this case, probably you have to go low because I can't blur it more. Let's try 16. 16 doesn't do much at all. I think between 1, 2, 2, 4. I think I'm gonna go with 4. So now the color, you can fake it because these are fake rendering. It's gonna be screen cap. You can do a little light gray so that it won't look too harsh. You could even change the color to like pretend that has a blue sky. So we could do, here we go. Let's do a blue sky. So I kind of tint with blue color. Here we go. So now it looks a little like blue. I think this is good enough. You don't have to do a high detail. If I hold Alt V, here we go. Okay. Now, I don't like that at all, that shadow. It's just because of the design of my lamp, the platform. How about this? And okay, a little shade. Okay, and now, oh, mine is floating now. I can see it's really float. I'm gonna just move the whole lamp up. This is okay. Okay, so now we can add a little more lights, but no more than 8 lights. So I'm gonna create lights. Don't use ambient. Ambient will lit all these. Well, you can fake it. If I do ambient, and let's ambient to blue, like the blue that's similar to the shadow. Here we go, and then I'm gonna reduce it 0.1. How about 0.2, 0.5, 0.4, 0.3? Here we go. So it's a little lit. So now you fake with the ambient light. Okay. Now, if it's still dark, and that band is because of the resolution, we don't turn on shadow on this, because if you turn on shadow, this surface will block. So that has a little band on there. It's just it's not perfect because it's let me let's do it. So it's just because it's hardware rendering. That's why. Anti-alias. Alpha cut, you don't need that. Clamp automatic, that's good. 16. I don't want to bump this up too high. Let's do 32 to match. See if any change. Not much changing, so bring it back to 16. If it's nothing changed, don't bring it up. Here we go. Well, that's it. because it's not perfect, the hardware rendering, but because of we don't need to do a high rendering. So now I need to lit that surface a little more. This time I'm going to use point light, and then my point light I'm going to put it in there, and I'm going to have to turn off. The reason is I just want to lit. So okay, and turn off shadow. I think that shadow ray is still on. Oh, actually I didn't know that viewport 2.0 also casting ray trace. So now I'm gonna reduce that 0.2, and I don't like that highlight. So in this case, I'm gonna delete that. I'm gonna fake with another directional light, so that it's just infinite, and we faked it. So I'm gonna move it, point it upward, so that lit that section, and you need to turn off shadow. When turn off shadow, it's go through, right? If you turn on shadow, not ray trace, shadow map, it will. Hey guys, hold on. It looks like when I use ray trace, shadow looks better. So I didn't know that we can use ray trace on the OpenGL, so that's good. So we can use ray trace, and light angle, if we wanted to solve that, let's see, we're going to have to use this in conjunction with the ray depth. The ray depth is mean how many times shadow will cast on reflected material. We don't have it, so we can put 0. We don't need that. So now let's try 2 and bring shadow layer to 10. Nope, doesn't really do. Okay, so there is a limitation on here, so never mind. You can just turn it on if you wanted to have a little sharper shadow. If you don't, got to go back with this 1024. 1024, can you see, is a little better, but I can't solve this more, and we don't have fog, so we don't use that. So that's it, 1024. And this guy, I will have, here we go. I will have to turn this off and then bring this down, 0.2, here we go. So it's look like bouncing light from here and lit it up there. Let me try 0.15. 0.15 is good enough. There we go. And here we go. So you still get that a little, but that's it. So the lighting, and you can use this to render. So right here, I'm gonna turn that off. Now, when you render the animation, you want to turn off everything. You can leave you don't need to turn off everything. You can just turn all on, so that hold on. If it's long shot, turn everything off for animation. Turn everything off except polygon and render it out. But when you do show the section that you will perform how it works, so you turn on lights, but turn everything on, so that, and you can hide platform because we don't need it when you do a demo the function. And when you do demo the function, you just do, like, for example, move and use OBS to record it, and that's it, just a little bit, and then you show this, record it, and then you show that, there we go, and then you turn this off and then rotate to show it. Or you can turn off first and then move, so that the audience, like, think about you try to sell this rig, to somebody. So you wanted to show that, hey, oh, because of I have a key. Hey guys, when you do a when you do showing the demo, can you delete all the keyframe so that it won't snap back to the on because there's a keyframe on it. Okay. Any questions, guys? Okay. So
Uh,
yes.
Will you have the video from yesterday?